Hello and welcome to Norwood News. Today is Friday, June 5th, and I'm your host, Krista McDonald. NCM is proud to announce that we have received the Overall Excellence Award by the Alliance for Community Media. This award recognizes media centers for their overall operational activities and programming efforts.
Norwood Community Media is proud to announce that they have received the Overall Excellence Award from the Alliance for Community Media. President of the Alliance for Community Media, Mike Wassenaar, explains the significance of this award.
In the Hometown Awards, we honor individual producers as well as organizations for the work that they do across an entire year. And in 2019, we looked at organizations' work in its broadest sense. So we asked people to put together nominations that shows the breadth of what they provide on a daily or weekly basis for all types of information and training, and really the service that they provide as a part of their community media channel. And it's that work that then is judged by a team of peers across the country. And it's other organizations looking at the work of the award nominees, and then trying to judge exactly who is doing that work best across the country. That's one of the things that's so special about this award that recognizes the work of Norwood Community Media. It's an organization that represents institutions and people across your community and does it well on a weekly and daily basis. It's a reflection of excellence recognized by peers across the country in more than 40 states of the union. So the thing that's interesting is that you may think that the work of a community media center is small in some ways, but we want to honor the specialness of that work. And that's what makes this award, I think, one with a lot of prestige.
Paul Bishop, chairman of the Norwood Board of Selectmen, recognized this award during this week's meeting.
They were chosen, I believe, out of a field of over 3,000 community media channels. And so that's very good for us out of 3,000 to have an award given to the community media. And I can thank that whole crew up there to make this probably, in my opinion, the best community media station around.
Norwood Community Media President Jerry Slater, who also hosts the program Your Town at Work, has these words to say on behalf of the NCM Board of Directors.
All of us at Norwood Community Media are filled with pride over winning this award. Being recognized by our industry with the top national award is significant as it validates our transformation to Norwood Community Media. This award is especially meaningful during the COVID crisis, as our NCM team has worked tirelessly with town and school officials, Norwood Hospital, community groups, and local businesses to ensure the community receives important, relevant, up-to-date information via multiple media formats. Congratulations to the MCM staff for once again raising the bar on excellence.
NCM Executive Director Jack Tolman explains that the success of NCM comes from the creativity and the work ethic of the staff.
It was very rewarding when we learned that we received the ACM's top award. To be recognized for our overall work is special and means a lot to us. The staff is committed to the quality of their work, and all of us are proud to provide news and information about Norwood to the residents and beyond. But what is special to me is that we all enjoy what we are doing, and we have fun working together as a team. We'd like to share this award with all of those who help us do what we do, the volunteers who are in front of the camera, and especially we'd like to share it with the town of Norwood.
On behalf of the Alliance for Community Media and our foundation, we want to congratulate Norwood Community Media for their excellence work in 2019. And we also want to congratulate the town of Norwood for investing in community media that reflects the needs of its people. You do great work every day and every week, and you should be proud.
Having the opportunity to play even a small part on NCM's team, it has been incredible to see everything that they're able to do for our Norwood community. So it's a huge privilege to be here, and a big congratulations to them. With the COVID-19 crisis forcing remote learning for the rest of the year and a cancellation of all spring senior class activities, Norwood High School held a graduation ceremony this past Sunday in a special way that the class of 2020 will never forget.
On May 31st, Norwood High School celebrated the class of 2020 in a way no one could have imagined.
First, we want to thank the community and the school, parents, families, students for their support, businesses in town. We put on an amazing event today. I believe everyone feels the same. It was an exciting opportunity to celebrate our graduates under very difficult circumstances. They've had a really rough spring, and this was an opportunity to bring them all together, have a graduation in person, give them the elements of it that we really wanted to have, and celebrate their tremendous achievements, their courage, their bravery, and their perseverance.
With smiles and tears of joy, the students drove to the school on the hill for a graduation they may not have pictured, but will surely never forget.
I'll remember this graduation with the coronavirus and masks and everything, but I'll also remember the immense amount of thought and detail and care put into every single little thing about this. My aunt was telling me that her two daughters graduated like years ago, and she thought that this one, she has a student in my grade, and she thought that this was much better than having to sit on the bleachers. But it was really cool seeing just all the teachers and everything. I felt like, in a way, obviously it wasn't the graduation I had planned on taking pictures with my friends and everything like that, but it was a really good substitute. It was like second best case scenario.
The graduates, friends, and family were grateful for the thoughtful, amazing event planned by the Norwood High School administration.
What a great day graduation was on Sunday. From the beginning of it being down at the Cleveland School, having a motorcycle escort up through Nickel Street, the families that didn't even have kids that were graduating out on the side of the road with posters and cheering, to getting up to the high school with all the teachers. I could not believe the amount of teachers that were at the high school, all of them with posters and saying kids' names and clapping, to going around the building and seeing all the varsity shirts. It really was an impressive sight. It ended with Stephen on the graduation stairs with his diploma, and also with a commemorative coin, which was just a nice act. So I just want to really say thank you to Dr. Galligan, Mrs. Durain, members of the high school staff, for all that you did for the kids. And you left an indelible mark, you know, for Kelly and myself, and most importantly, for our son Stephen. Thank you very much.
After receiving their diplomas, the celebration continued as many graduates returned to their homes and were surprised by neighbors who lined the streets to congratulate and celebrate their accomplishments. Here is Dan Gruber, a producer for NCM, walking back home surrounded by neighbors who have watched him grow and become a graduate of this special class. Congratulations, Dan, from all of us at NCM. We will be right back after this break for some more town news.
Hi, my name is Jim Maroney. I'm the dispatch supervisor here at Norwood Police. Started working many years ago on March 4th, 1991, which is also my anniversary today for work. The question today is what happens at accident scenes and why is there so much traffic and delays? When we have an accident in town, we're going to send at least one police officer, usually two, to help out with traffic and help to exchange information and check about the injured or passengers in the vehicle. We'll also send the fire department, and they will arrive shortly after the police are there in most cases, or if they're out, they will be the first on scene. Officers have to get information about driver's license, registrations, and exchange with the other operator, and then we may have a tow involved. So it does take considerable amount of time. The quickest thing they're trying to do is clear up the scene and open the road to traffic.
Welcome back. Earlier this week, John Cody of the fire department was pinned in as the newest deputy chief of Norwood Fire. John's family, Chief Maurice, Paul Bishop, and others stood outside the fire station to watch the ceremony and say a few kind words about John's journey. John will be the new deputy chief in charge of training.
John is a great family man, and I know they mean the world to him. So with that, I'd like to have Kirsten and the kids come up and pin the well-earned Deputy Chief's badge on John. Deputy Chief John Cody. Well, I think the first thing is that I'm extremely happy for John and his family. I've known John for roughly 15 years now. Worked with him when he was a young firefighter. Eager individual, wanted to learn, wanted to be the best firefighter that he could be. And to see him progress up into the ranks, become a lieutenant first, and now make the jump up to deputy chief, I just think it's going to be a great thing for Norwood Fire. If we make him a training officer, I think we're going to have an excellent training program, a standardized training program, which will greatly benefit the men and women of the fire department. So I'm looking forward to working with Deputy Chief Cody in conjunction with Deputy Chief Hayes, and we're going to move Norwood Fire Department into the future.
It's an unbelievable feeling to get pinned in. My wife and my kids, they mean everything to me. They're my motivating factor. To the town of Norwood, we know how much you support us, and to be the deputy chief in charge of training, a long overdue position, it's an amazing accomplishment, but it's not my accomplishment. It's truly an accomplishment for the whole town. It's everything as we improve, it's for you. As you support us, we're here to support you and do our jobs. I'm honored, I'm lucky, and I just feel blessed. And what I do promise is the same motivation that got me here will continue to improve. I just want to say thank you to so many people, and I'd be lying if I didn't say I'm enjoying today. So thank you to the town of Norwood, and I appreciate everything you've done.
Congratulations, John. We know you'll continue to serve the town well. In the wake of the death of Minneapolis resident George Floyd by a police officer, the country has seen many protests to raise awareness for racial injustice. This past Sunday, residents of Norwood gathered in the center of town with signs for a peaceful protest. Many people were holding signs promoting peace and support for the Black Lives Matter movement. Stay tuned after this break for some school and government news.
Hi everyone, Aubrey here from Impact Norwood. I'm excited to share that coming up on June 11th at 7 p.m., Impact Norwood has teamed up with the Oasis Coalition of Stoughton to bring in 5-time Olympian, Olympic and world champion, cancer fighter, and mom, Keegan Randall. Keegan will be sharing her story of perseverance and providing us all with some much needed motivation. You can register to join the webinar at impactnorwood.org. Or if you're not too comfortable with technology, our great partner, NCM, will be airing the webinar live on a local station. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to Aubrey Seol at ACIOL@norwoodma.gov. And again, visit impactnorwood.org to register for the webinar. This is definitely one you don't want to miss.
Welcome back. An email signed by the entire school department administration team was sent to the staff and all the families across this district earlier this week regarding the murder of George Floyd. During the school committee meeting, Dr. Thompson read this letter.
Yesterday afternoon, we sent a letter out to the school community about the racial injustice that we are all seeing and the protests and what have you. I will be completely transparent and give credit where credit is due. Dr. Galligan contacted me on Monday afternoon with an idea that he felt that we should put a letter out, and I said I agreed with him. I also told him I didn't have the time right then and there to try to compose a letter, which he offered to do. So the letter is authored by he, and I'm sure, knowing how he and Mrs. Durain worked together, I'm sure she had some pieces of that as well. What happened after that is the letter came to the administrative team, and we were discussing how to distribute it, and we decided that it would come from the school principals, but it really is from the entire team, and just list the names in the bottom. So if you would, I'd like to read that, because that only went out as an email to those that are either teachers or students or parents in the community. So, dear Norwood Public Schools students, family, and staff, we write to you with heavy hearts. Our hearts and minds are filled with confusion, anger, and sadness. We've watched it, as you have, with horror and despair, the recent murder of George Floyd in Minneapolis. As leaders of your schools, we denounce these horrific actions. We recognize that at this time, our students, families, and staff members of color may be filled with fear, confusion, and anger, and may be experiencing trauma as a result of these actions. We, with our entire staff across our schools and districts, stand with our students, families, and staff members of color. We see you, we hear you, we value you, we care for you, we love you. In the Norwood Public Schools, our diversity is our strength. Our differences are what bring us together. As educators, we continuously learn and engage in conversations around diversity, equity, and inclusion. Together, we pledge to support our students through these conversations, to challenge injustices and institutional racism, to examine implicit bias, and to remain committed to equity. For our parents, we have included the following resources from our partner, the Anti-Defamation League. As you know, we work with ADL to provide professional development for our staff on issues around diversity, equity, and inclusion. And this year at the high school launched our inaugural year of the ADL's World of Difference Student Leadership Program. Parents may find the tabletop exercises on the killing of George Floyd and systematic racism helpful tools for discussing these issues with adolescents. This is an ongoing series, and you may find the archives useful too. And there's a link to the ADL in that email. If anyone else would like it, it is also on the school webpage. Our hearts are heavy with these. Our hearts are heavy. Within these heavy hearts, we are trying to find room for hope and love that we so often pride ourselves on. It is that hope and love among all members of our school community that will allow us to bring a positive change. We ask that all members of our school community stand together and do the same. We love your school leadership team. So I just wanted to share that and make sure that that was shared with the entire community.
Thank you, Dr. Thompson and Dr. Galligan, for addressing this issue. Now we will toss it over to our good friend Brian Dunn with sports.
Hello again. Welcome back to the Sports Update for this week. My name is Brian Dunn, and once again, want to give a congratulations to the class of 2020. Graduation last weekend was such a really cool thing to see you all embrace that sort of spirit and go off and do great things in the world, and especially to those who are continuing their athletic careers beyond Norwood High. Best of luck, and we hope to hear from you soon. So, with graduation come and gone, the summer starting to kick in, sports season is starting to wind down. So, now would be an excellent time to check out our entire on-demand library for sports content. If you go to our website, norwoodcommunitymedia.org, and search, that's the key word, search our school programming VOD, you can get in touch with basically every sport we broadcasted over the fall, winter, and spring season. And that same goes for our YouTube page. If you go to our YouTube page, Norwood Community Media, we have a playlist designated by each sport. You can relive every breaking news post-game piece, interviews with some of the coaches and the players, relive every goal, incredible moment, game-winning goal. All of that stuff is on our YouTube page and our on-demand website. Again, on demand at norwoodcommunitymedia.org or on our YouTube at Norwood Community Media. And with that, I'll leave you for this week, and I'll throw it back to Kristen for more Norwood news.
Thanks, Brian. Monday night, the planning board met and began their meeting with a minor site plan approval for a sign at 500 Washington Street. The board briefly discussed this plan and unanimously approved it. Following the sign approval, the board passed a tri-party agreement for Power Lane. With the departure of Devery Homewood from the planning board earlier this year, it created an open seat on the Community Preservation Committee as the planning board representative. Joe Sheehan agreed to be the representative moving forward. To end the meeting, Paul Halkiotis updated the board on the open space and recreation plan. He spoke in depth about the plan and what to expect moving forward. The next planning board meeting will be June 22nd. The Board of Health convened Tuesday morning. The board voted and approved at the beginning of the meeting to hire 2 public health nurses to the department. Much of the discussion centered around the rec department and new protocols for the pools presented by Travis Farley amid the COVID-19 reopening strategy. It was concluded that Haas will be the main focus, as opening both Haas and Father Max Pool is not in the best interest of safety at this time.
Yeah, we have 2 pools, and what we sort of has talked about is that in order to do it properly, we really only have the capacity to open 1, because there are so much more, not only staff needs, but just controls and cleaning protocols that need to happen, and the condition of the facility. We have a brand new bathhouse at Haas that is a lot easier to keep clean and to maintain. at Father Max, unfortunately, the bathhouse is in rough condition, and it just makes it harder to clean and sanitize according to CDC guidelines.
Travis outlined proposed new guidelines for users to follow, including frequent bathhouse cleanings and designated swimming lanes and pool deck areas.
And we are going to place bathroom monitors outside the bathrooms to make sure that we are enforcing the 2 at a time. If you look at the schedule, it's basically open for an hour and closed for a half hour. This makes cleaning the bathrooms a heck of a lot easier when you only have spaces to make sure that they're sanitized and clean.
And those will be, Travis, excuse me before we go on, those will be documented? The times that you clean the bathroom and they'll be documented?
Half hour with some initials and make sure that it's being followed.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. And facility recommendations. Obviously, we're going to have to restrict the bathing load. The CDC has actually recommended, and I could be wrong, Segal can correct me, that most pools go back to 25, or all pools go back to 25% of the bathing load, which for us would be about 25 people. So, that's something we will be enforcing. We are going to mark off the pool deck, so that way when people arrive, they will be assigned a portion of the pool deck. That'll be every 12 feet. So if I'm a family of 4, I'm a Farley family, I register, I show up, I would pre-register to come and kind of get ahead of myself. You would be signed a portion of the pool deck. And then when you get in the pool, you be assigned a lane. So we have 6 lanes in the pool. You would be assigned lane 1, and you'd be in that lane, and you'd be assigned a portion of the deck as well.
The board ultimately voted to approve the reopening of Hawes Pool for the summer. The Board of Health will meet again in the next few weeks. The Board of Selectmen held 2 public hearings on Tuesday night. The first hearing, scheduled for 6 p.m., was a show cause hearing for Boncaldo Restaurant, which closed its doors in February unexpectedly. The hearing has been continued for 180 days. Lewis's Bar and Grill was the second hearing scheduled for 6:15. Lewis's is looking to create some outdoor seating arrangements on the back side of the building.
Yeah, I'm all set, Mr. Chairman. As for the number, I think probably social distancing guidelines are going to dictate the actual number of people who will be out there anyway. So whether it's 25 or 40 or somewhere in between, I'm certain that both the owners, who are conscientious people, and the marketplace will kind of decide it for them. Thank you.
And I agree with that. The number they're looking for is 40, and the licensing would be given for 40. But at this point in time, with the COVID-19 situation, everything would be governed by anything coming from the state department, the state government, rather. I have a motion to approve the recommendation, or the request, rather, from Joe and Colleen. Mr. Plasko?
Aye.
Mr. Jha?
Aye.
Mr. Howard?
Aye.
Mr. Maloney?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. So, Colleen and Joe, congratulations.
The board will meet again Monday, June 8th at 11 a.m. for a decision to be made more about outdoor dining applications. This will be the last meeting for longtime selectmen Paul Bishop and Alan Howard. Both men have served on the board since 2011. The Trails Committee held a brief meeting Tuesday night. Committee members reviewed the trail walks that they have taken during the time they have spent at home. Many members were pleased with the trails at Endine. The next Trails Advisory Committee will be in the coming weeks. Wednesday afternoon, the Middle School Building Committee conducted 3 interviews for the owner's project manager job. The companies that were interviewed were CBRE, HERRY, Compass, and PMA. Chairman Alan Slater asked each company a set of questions, and the remaining committee members asked follow-up questions. Each company will be ranked by a set of guidelines that were decided on by the committee, and then the highest scoring company will be selected. The Middle School Building Committee will meet again Monday at 1 p.m. to discuss the scoring of each company and pick an owner's project manager for the new middle school building. Also Wednesday, the school committee met and continued where they left off with the final school improvement plans. Principal Robbins of the Willett and Little Mustangs Preschool Academy, Principal Brown of the Callahan, and Interim Principal Griffin with newly hired Principal Olson all presented their school improvement plans to the committee. Ryan Quigley, Health and Wellness Department Chair at the high school, also appeared before the board to provide a school health council and wellness policy update. Following the appearances, the committee continued their discussion from their previous meeting about bus reimbursement. After some discussion, the board voted not to reimburse bus fees. To end the meeting, each member thanked committee member Maura Smith for her time on the board, as it was her last meeting on the committee. Smith ended the meeting with a congratulations to the class of 2020 and a heartfelt thank you.
And I, on my run, I go up by the high school very often, and I was up there on Sunday and I saw all the amazing signs that folks had put out. And as I was running up Nickel Street, which is a joy in and of itself, it's a very steep hill, I was very heartened by all of the people who live along the route who had taken the time to go out and decorate, so that it would be a really special moment for the students, for their families, for the whole community. And I think that whole experience really sums up what Norwood is and what makes Norwood special. That there's never really a question of, can we do it? It's just, well, we're going to do it, and we're going to make it incredibly special, and we're going to take care of everybody along the way. And I think that, there's that whole adage of it takes a village, but I think that Norwood is a really special village. And it's been, a real honor and a privilege for me to be in this seat, both at the Savage and this chair at home, which doesn't quite tip as much as the Savage ones do. But for the last 3 years, and I hope, and I've always strived to be a voice for students, for families, and to advocate as best as I can. So I hope that I have achieved that, which I set out to do. It was funny, something that Dave said in his addenda really stuck with. There was a lot of things that stuck with me. It was all very, very sweet, which everyone has said. But Dave said that I could have been home with my friends and my loved ones, and I would actually sort of say that I was just here with my friends. It's been a real lovely time getting to know all of you and all of the people who have been on the committee through all the previous years that I've been on it. And it's been a real joy getting to know you all and getting to work with you.
Thank you, Maura, for your years of service to the school committee. The next meeting will be Wednesday the 17th. Thursday afternoon, the town of Norwood, the planning department, and the health department co-hosted the second Back to Business meeting. All restaurant owners in town were invited to join the meeting and ask questions about the outdoor seating requirements for the Phase 2 opening. It is expected that Governor Baker will announce the beginning of Phase 2 on Monday, which will allow restaurants to serve patrons outdoors. There will be another Back to Business forum on June 9th. For the first time in several months, the Council on Aging met to discuss a number of topics. Since the group had not spoken in this setting in quite some time, there were multiple reports, including the legislative report and Kerry McCarthy's Senior Center reports for the months of March, April, and May. The board also voted to postpone the cycle of elected positions, such as chair and vice chair, until a later meeting in person. The Council on Aging is planning to reconvene in August. To watch complete government coverage, tune into the NCM Government channel or watch it on demand at norwoodcommunitymedia.org. Stay tuned after this break for some more town news. Welcome back. Norwood Fire was very busy Wednesday with 2 vehicle fires occurring in the morning and early afternoon. They provided the information in a post. Quote, "It was a busy morning for Group 1 Engine 3. This morning, Engine 3 with Canton Fire responded to Neponset Street near the 95 overpass for a dump truck fire. Crews encountered a well-involved dump truck on scene and worked with Canton Fire to extinguish the blaze. Then shortly before 12:30, they were alerted to a motor vehicle fire with the rest of the apparatus in the parking lot of Home Depot that was extending to other vehicles. In total, 3 cars were involved, and crews operated on scene for about 45 minutes. This, in addition to answering multiple fire alarm activations, medicals, and other emergencies, has led to a busy day for firefighters." End quote. As always, thank you so much to the hard work of the men and women at Norwood Fire. As the state continues its phased reopening for businesses, the Recreation Department has an announcement on how this will affect their summer camps. Travis Farley has more.
We, as a rec department, have been working tirelessly to come up with some safe alternatives for summer programming. This summer, we are going to have some updates very soon. Please stay tuned to our Facebook page. A couple of things that I can tell you: junior play, senior play, playground program, and challenger program will run in some capacity this summer. We're still finalizing the detail with Board of Health. The programs that I can tell you we are going to cancel are our cheerleading program, our volleyball program, and our swim lessons. Those are the programs I can tell you that are being canceled, so you will be getting a refund or a credit for those programs. Like I said, I would please encourage everyone to stay tuned. We will have our pool information out very shortly. I'd like to thank the Board of Health, has been tremendous through this whole process. Like I said, we've been working tirelessly with them, with the Mass Rec and Park Association, with the CDC, with the ACA to come up with a game plan for this summer to provide our residents with a fun, safe alternative to get outdoors and use our pools this summer. So please stay tuned. And on the playground side of things, our seasonal staff has been working very hard. We've been spreading wood chips around our playgrounds and a Bond Street construction update. We are working very hard to finish that project. We're hoping to have it finished very soon. But given the pandemic, things have been slowed down a little bit, but we are working very hard to get that playground back up running for our residents. So that's an update on the playground and the program side of things. You will get an update on pool very soon. Thank you, Norwood. Stay safe. Hope to hear from you soon.
Just a reminder to residents that the town is hosting a no-touch election on Monday. For a tutorial on what residents should expect when showing up to vote, we toss it to Tony Mizuko and Mary Lou Folan.
The election is on June 8th. Polls are open from 7 to 8, and we want everyone to know that the election is going to be safe, and we encourage you to come out and vote. Each voter will be given an individual voter kit, which contains your pen and a mask and a pair of gloves, and we encourage everyone to wear a mask when they come into vote on June 8th. There'll be sanitizer stations set up as you come in. When you go to check in with your ballot clerk, the clerks will be behind a plastic shield. All of the voting booths are 6 feet apart, at least. These voting booths will be sanitized in between each voter voting. When you go to check out, the ballot clerks will also be behind a shield. The wardens will also have individual shields as well if you need to talk to a warden about your voting. And as you leave after voting, you'll be able to deposit your used mask and gloves and bag in a trash receptacle, and you'll have a bin there where we'll ask you to put the pen in. You can certainly hold on to the mask or the gloves if you want.
We are working hard to have it a no-touch election as much as we can, and it's a safe place to come. So I encourage everybody, if they did not vote by absentee, to come out to the polls on voting day.
And special credit goes to the town clerk's office for all the work they've put together in putting together our no-touch election.
Well, that's all for Norwood News. To stay up to date with Norwood Community Media, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. As always, thank you so much for watching. We end this newscast with a special video produced by Mike Scafati. Earlier in the newscast, we heard from Mike's daughter Audrey, a member of the class of 2020 and a recipient of the Dick Keefe NCM Scholarship. In this video, we get to experience this special graduation through the eyes of a graduate and her family. Enjoy.
Nice. Yeah, it was this year. I don't know where I should sit in the car.
That's cool, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool.
Feeling good?
We're gonna hope that this thing doesn't go flying off.
Yeah.
I think it'll be okay.
Yeah.
We are in the staging area here at...
I'm watching Brianna. Oh, good.
Oh. Welcome to Shotgun.
Thank you very much.
They're playing the graduation march.
Oh, they're playing it. Oh, that's sweet. Oh, that's very sweet. Hi, Ben! Hi! That's so There she is. Yes, women night! Hi, Miss Girl! Thank you. Thank you, Miss Barefoot. Thank you. Oh, your shows, Audrey. Mustang Media, Scuba Dive. Congratulations. Your
Thank you. I love you, senor. I miss you too. They're at the R's. They're at the R's. Put my mask on. Hi, Miss Cone. Hi, Miss Flynn. Thank you.
Good luck, baby girl.
Love you.
Audrey, Patricia, Scafati.
Yes, Audrey!
Audrey will be attending Quinnipiac University as part of the 3+1 program, majoring in film, television, and media arts, and getting a master's in cinema production management.
That's a girl. That's a girl. You're good.
Thank you.
Matthew, Thomas, Shelmo,